So hello folks, welcome back to the announcements. This is for week 6. It's all in the details, kind of some feedback about that assignment, and then looking ahead for the literacy narrative and stuff that's coming up. So first of all, for the details assignment, those were really good. I really enjoyed looking at those. Some of you even managed to work Harry Potter into there somehow with Privet Drive and the twins. And so that was fun for me too, since I'm a Harry Potter fan. One of the things that you probably noticed was that long sentences are really easy to get messed up quick. Modifier errors are really big because a lot of times you're trying to add so much detail that the thing that is being modified is so far from the modifier that it is kind of unintentionally funny. So I marked that down a little bit. Comma splices were really big too for that. Several of you actually split it into several sentences, and that wasn't the assignment, but if it was detailed, I kind of went with it. That was fine. So for the grades, if you had sentence errors like comma splices or stray commas or things like that in the initial post, I'd graded that down a little bit, and modifier errors too, I guess. If it was really perfunctory detail, like maybe there were just a couple of adjectives and that's kind of it, that got a little bit lower too. It wasn't excellent. So not many people did that, but there were a couple. And then if you were really, it looked like you were really short on the feedback you were giving to classmates. I didn't count every word, so if I graded you down and you count and you're right at 100, then let me know and I'll adjust it. But if it looked a lot shorter than everything else, then I marked that down a little bit too. So if you missed doing the feedback for your classmates, let me know if you do it. You have until November 30th to get any late work in. I won't see it automatically because it's a discussion board. Once it's graded, I don't see that there's anything new that's been added there. So you'll have to let me know and I'll go look and I'll adjust that. And let's see, if you notice as you're going through the feedback that you got that someone was really unhelpful or mean to you, I didn't see that, but I may have missed, or there may be a tone that I've kind of missed that you catch. One thing that I really can't tell because I don't have the plagiarism engine on there for this is if somebody copied feedback from somebody else and they're trying to pass it off as I don't see that the way that I'm grading. I'm looking at individuals to give grades, not kind of what's underneath. So if you notice that, I don't have it happen very often, but every once in a while someone will do it. Just let me know and I will take care of that too. So looking ahead, you have in the next kind of lesson here a grammar lesson, kind of all of that stuck in there at once. And so there's a lot of different things. I would say that if you're struggling with comma splices or understanding commas, I know there's a video in there. And if the video is not helpful, I can find probably 15 more for you that might be better. So let me know if you need me to look into that. But what you're being asked to do is talk about the areas that you need to improve from the last essay, the feedback you got, what you did well and what you didn't understand. So before you come in and tell me, I didn't get any feedback, so I can't do this assignment and I'm really ticked off about it, remember that you do have some feedback sources. You have the rubric, which is very detailed. You can have conferences with me. I've already had one. I'm happy to have some more for that, whether you want to do a revision or not. If you want to talk about that, that's fine. And then you do have your peers. You have tutors. Tutors are not for people who are slow or struggling. Tutors in writing are really for people who want to make progress faster than they would make by themselves. And one of the best ways to make knowledge and to make progress as a writer and see your choices is to talk about them with someone else. And sometimes just hearing what you say jars something loose that helps you kind of make a leap forward. You also have your classroom teacher, and she and I probably do disagree on what we would consider an A and a B. That's really normal. Grading is super subjective, and it's why I hate it so much. And it's why in my face-to-face classes I don't do it until the end, and you don't need to know about that. But it's because of this that it's really hard to decide what's an A and a B, and it's not helpful. Like, I know that you probably have, you get some paper back and it goes in your backpack and you find it 2 years later crunched at the bottom. That didn't help you become a better writer. So that's all to say. So before you decide that you don't have any feedback, look at those sources of feedback that you have. You can look at the rubric. You can see where you did well, where you didn't do so well, and look at the differences and the levels that are there. If you do want to have a conference, I think I said this already, but come in prepared to talk about where you would have put yourself on the rubric and why. Um, and then we can have that a productive conversation about that. I kind of hate that this is in the grammar sort of unit, if you want to call it that, because it kind of implies that grammar is the thing that, and spelling, punctuation, all that kind of stuff, usage is the thing that matters to make the difference. And it's really only a small part of what makes writing good. In fact, you can have stuff that's really grammatically a mess, but it gets the job done in the way that purpose and that audience needs it to do. And so that's there. So anyway, that's what I have for you on that. I'll look forward to seeing that. And then I want to talk to you about what's coming up. So in the next lesson after this, you're going to be writing your literacy narrative. I hope you're already working on it. I hope you're thinking about what that could be. And I want to switch tabs here now and show you the Bernice Olivas essay that I've talked about a couple of times, because it is really helpful for what you're trying to do, more helpful than some of the stuff that's in the course. So if you go in here to your class, let me scroll down. There's the Professor Down alternate readings and resources. If you open this up, you'll see a lot of different things. In the literacy narrative resources folder, this is the essay I'm talking about, this one by Bernice Olivas. And she talks in there about literacy profiles. And let me just click into it and let you see it. So in this thing here, she also talks about how all writing is storytelling, and that's and so she makes a connection to college and this kind of like why you would write a literacy narrative in a college English class. So she's got a how-to here, and she talks about a literacy profile, and these are really kind of like sketches about experiences, and she suggests you try writing 3 that are empowering and positive, 3 that maybe are not that, and see what you have the most to say about which one of these incidents really provides a turning point for you. And then and you can look at the different ones that she has here about that. So that's that. I'll go ahead and get out of this now and just so looking at that kind of stuff, and do I'll just look forward to seeing what you come up with. Remember that narratives have detail, which is one of the reasons that we did this assignment where we did it. And detail really, not just that everything's a story and stories have different kind of rich details, like sensory details and things like that, but even with academic writing, we want to get you in the habit of not just saying, this thing that seems blindingly obvious to you and having that just be it. There's lots of ways that you can add detail in academic writing by, showing the ways that things connect, showing the reasons why your sort of analysis is valid and maybe even new and helpful if it is. And then also just sometimes you have to take kind of a stand, and it's really, really hard for freshmen in particular. I tease them all the time because I teach freshmen, but really nobody wants to be wrong, and nobody wants to fight in the kind of environment that we have in our country and our world right now, where it's really hard to take a stand on something and not immediately get, attacked by, several other groups of people who disagree with you. We have a really dysfunctional way of talking about anything right now. So, but if you can learn to have a functional way of expressing your ideas and expressing them in ways that are reasonable and that answer kind of the so what question, who cares about this and why, then that gets you to whatever word length or word count, your page count you're supposed to get. because you've added detail, you've added explanations, you've added more than just, you know, your outline and maybe another sentence or two. So think about all of those things, and I will look forward to seeing the literacy narratives in a couple of weeks. And as always, let me know if you need something, and thanks.